He was the definition of luxury, private jets, diamond watches, and millions in donations. To the world, Chief Darlington Uche was a self-made billionaire. But on a warm Saturday morning, as his flight prepared for takeoff, 3 quiet footsteps changed everything. Behind the flash of cameras and the weight of expectations, lay a truth too dark for Instagram. The king was about to fall, and not even the gods could stop it. Chief Darlington Uche sat in business class on a flight bound for France. His gold wristwatch sparkled under the cabin lights as he sipped fresh mango juice served in crystal glassware. Everything about him reeked of success: handmade shoes, velvet jacket, and a phone screen filled with messages from politicians, influencers, and business tycoons. He was the man who funded school buses, built hospitals, and posted motivational quotes like "Grind today, shine forever." The plane was ready to taxi. Engines hummed. Passengers were relaxed. Then, silence broke. 3 men in black stepped into the aircraft. No announcement. No smile. Just silence, heavy and deliberate. One approached him. "Chief Darlington Uche." "Yes." "What's the meaning of this?" he asked, adjusting his collar. "Please come with us. Just a quick routine check." Darlington laughed, a forced, dry laugh. His eyes scanned the plane. Phones were already out. Whispers spread like fire. "I've already settled your people. Don't try this nonsense with me. Do you even know who I am?" The officer remained calm. "Our boss is here now." Orders came from the top. Darlington turned his head toward the cabin door. Standing there was Commander Benson Modi, the feared airport narcotics chief. His face unreadable, his stare sharp like broken glass. In that moment, something inside Darlington cracked. His confidence slipped like water through fingers. He whispered, "Let's go." The walk of the plane felt longer than his rise to stardom. He leaned close to one officer. "I'll give you 50 million. Right now. Just pretend this never happened." The man didn't blink. "Sir, we received reliable intel. Please cooperate." Darlington's heart dropped. This wasn't just a check. In a private room at the airport, his bag was opened. Clothes, toiletries, and then the lining was cut open. Silence. Packages. Heavy. Wrapped. Labeled. Drugs. The air froze. Darlington stood still. Pale. Numb. Within 10 minutes, photos hit social media. The same man who danced at orphanage fundraisers now had cuffs on his wrist. Instagram exploded. Fake billionaire. Motivational fraud. So that's how he got rich. His empire, built on lies, had just caught fire. But how did it come to this? The answer lay not in the airport, but far back, in the village where it all began. In the shadows of parental pressure, jealousy, and a decision made under a mango tree. Long before the luxury jets and gold chains, Darlington Uche was just a quiet boy from Umwaka, a small village tucked deep in southeastern Nigeria. His voice was soft. His eyes held dreams bigger than the red sand roads that curved around his childhood home. He was the last born, often overlooked during celebrations and barely noticed during family meetings. While other boys played football and chased girls, Darlington studied. His teachers praised him. His WAEC results were clean, his JAMB score impressive. But at home, none of that mattered. His father, Ezekiel Uche, a retired civil servant with a permanent scowl, believed any man who didn't build wealth before 30 was already dead inside. Your elder brothers made it before 25. Don't bring shame into this house, he would say, banging the center table during dinner. And truly, his older brothers were village legends. Chinedu, the firstborn, was already running 2-car dealerships in Lagos at 25. His posters, Odigu Motors, were plastered across Anambra. Toku, the second, joined politics early. Always in a suit, always in a tinted Prado. By 27, he was the youngest local government chairman in the state. Ifeanyi III had journeyed abroad and was now wiring dollars every month. His mother would sprinkle the notes on the ground and dance barefoot, shouting, "The Lord has done it." But Darlington. He came back from school with 2 suitcases and a B.Sc in business administration. No car. No girlfriend. No land. Just certificates. His father took the paper, looked at it, and laughed bitterly. "This certificate can't buy Maggie, my friend. Go and learn from people who have sense." Darlington tried. First, he worked in customer service for a telecom company. Modest pay. He sent 30,000 Nigerian nairas home. His father opened the envelope and hissed, "What am I supposed to do with this? Bribe mosquitoes." He got another job at a microfinance bank. Long hours. Low salary. His mother called 2 months later. "Your father says you're still wasting your time. Is this what you call work?" Then came the breaking point. One Sunday afternoon, the Uche family received a visitor. Chike, the neighbor's son who dropped out of school at 16 and vanished into the city, returned. He drove into the village in a red Lexus with gold rims, gold chain, tattoo sleeve. He stepped out, smiled at the crowd, and said, "No business I dey do now." Nobody asked what kind of business. The children screamed Uncle Chike. The women blessed him. The men folded their arms in admiration. Darlington's father watched with a clenched jaw. That evening, he called Darlington outside. "Go and meet Chike. Tell him to teach you what he's doing. I don't care how he made it. That's what matters." Darlington was shocked. "You want me to ask him to teach me illegal business? What I want," his father backed, "is a son I can boast of." That night, Darlington didn't sleep. The ceiling fan spun slow circles above him, like a hypnotist. His chest ached. He had done everything right, studied, worked hard, stayed clean, and yet, here he was. Invisible in his own family. The next day, Chike showed up. "Let's take a walk," he said. They sat behind the house. The sun was low. The air smelled of burning firewood. "I move goods," Chike said. "Drugs. Narcotics. It's risky but clean if you do it right." Darlington stared. "I can't do that." Chike smiled. "You're already doing nothing. What's the difference?" When Darlington told his parents, expecting outrage, his father simply nodded. "If it works, then go ahead. Chike has been doing it." "Has he died?" His mother added, "There's a man I know. A powerful spiritualist. He'll give you protection. With him, no one can touch you." Darlington's mouth opened in disbelief. "You want me to use charms for drugs?" His father slammed the table. "I want you to become a man." And that was the beginning of the end. The next morning, Darlington's mother dragged him to the edge of the village to meet a man called Baba Ida. He lived in a mud hut with no windows. A red cloth tied around his waist. White powder on his face. Eyes that looked like they'd seen the spirit world. Baba tied a red thread around Darlington's waist. Rubbed powder in his palms. Blew smoke into the air. "He is covered," he said. "Invisible to the police, to scanners, to dogs. But..." He paused, pulled the mother aside, and whispered, "If he ever sleeps with a woman on her period, especially the night before a trip, the charm will break." The mother nodded. But she never told Darlington. Only said, "Just behave wisely." That silence would one day burn the empire they all helped him build. After that morning at Baba Ido's hut, everything changed. Darlington Uche returned home, not with fear, but with fire. He moved like a lion that had just grown wings. Quiet but dangerous. Humble in the open, but deadly in the dark. The red thread around his waist burned with silent power. His first drug trip was like magic. No dogs barked. No scanners beeped. The airport officials even smiled as he passed. The second trip was smoother. By the third, the customs boss greeted him like an old friend. No one suspected the handsome, soft-spoken, real estate mogul who always carried a Bible and gave airport beggars 10,000 Nigerian Nairas notes. Soon, the money started pouring in. He bought his first Benz within 2 months. His second was a Porsche. Then came the Lamborghini, the Bentley, and the Rolls-Royce. In Lagos, his houses looked like embassies, marble floors, elevator interiors, guards in matching uniforms. He tore down the family's old village bungalow and built a mansion with tinted glass and interlocking tiles. The compound gate alone cost 7 million Nigerian Nairas. His father stood before it one day and wept, not with shame, but pride. "My son is a lion." His mother flew to Jerusalem for pilgrimage, not once, but twice. She returned with holy water, calling Darlington God's favorite. But it wasn't just about luxury. Darlington became a giver. He donated buses to primary schools, built hospitals, sponsored orphans, gave scholarships to students from every tribe. Instagram loved him. Odogu billionaire. Modern-day Dangote. Godwin. But the same mouths that praised him never asked, how did he rise so fast? Nobody questioned how a 30-year-old who claimed to do real estate was buying private jets yet never sold a single plot of land. Behind the scenes, his empire was running smoothly. Check had taught him the routes: South America to Lagos, Lagos to France, France to Dubai. He only carried the goods once every 3 months. The rest of the time, his boys handled it. But he always did the big ones himself, the ones worth over $10 million. And every time he traveled, he tied the red thread tighter, rubbed the black powder Baba Idol gave him, and fasted the night before. Until one evening, he broke the rule. It was a Friday night, 24 hours before another major trip. His friends pulled up in a G-Wagon. Loud music. Loud laughter. One of them screamed, "Odogu, abeg no dey dull yourself. Let's paint the night red." He hesitated. He had the flight the next day. But he was human. He was tired. Tired of always being serious. Tired of carrying the weight of secrets, the pressure of expectations. So he gave in. They ended up at a luxury club in Lekki. The lights blinked like stars in a rave. Girls danced, drinks flowed like ocean waves, and the air smelled of money. Then he saw her. She stood alone by the bar. Brown skin glowing like sunset. A tattoo peeked from under her collarbone. Her name was Ada. They talked. They laughed. They left together. They didn't even reach the bedroom. That night, under silk sheets and dim lighting, Darlington broke the unspoken rule. The one his mother had hidden from him. The only rule that kept his life from falling apart. Ada was on her period. He didn't know. She didn't tell him. And even if she had, would he have cared? At Baba Idol's shrine that night, the red thread tied around the cow's skull snapped. The charms faded. The spirits turned their backs. But Darlington didn't feel it. He slept like a baby. Dreamed of dollars. Smiled in his sleep. The next morning, he dressed in his finest navy blue kaftan. His shoes shined like diamonds. He sprayed his perfume, rolled his Louis Vuitton suitcase, and entered his black Escalade with tinted windows. At the airport, everything felt the same, until it didn't. He passed the scanner, and it beeped. For the first time in years. He smiled it off. Must be my belt, he told the officer. But 3 men in black uniforms were already approaching. Darlington's heart froze. He turned, and standing behind the glass was Commander Benson Modi, head of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. The one who never smiled. The one who didn't take bribes. This wasn't routine. This was a trap. And Darlington had just walked into it. Darlington stood by the boarding gate, phone in hand, pretending to scroll through Instagram as if everything was fine. But his palms were sweaty. His chest tight. The charm, once his shield, felt like a dead weight around his waist. It no longer burned. It no longer hummed. It was as quiet as the grave. Commander Benson Modi entered the cabin of the plane, flanked by 2 armed officers. The tension in the air was thick, the kind that wraps around your neck like a noose. Chief Darlington Uche. Yes, he answered, trying to fake confusion. What's this about? We need you to come with us. Routine check. A few passengers raised their heads. Whispers. Camera phones. Darlington chuckled and stood slowly, adjusting his designer blazer. You people must be joking. Do you know who I am? I've already sorted your men outside. Call your superior. My name is on the manifest. I'm a public figure. Our superior is already here, the officer replied coldly, gesturing to Commander Modi, whose stone face never cracked. Something broke in Darlington's eyes. His voice softened. His lips trembled. Let's go, he whispered. As he stepped off the plane, a woman gasped. Is that not Odugu Real Estate? The billionaire philanthropist. Another whispered, no lie. No drugs them say he did carry. He was taken to a private room. Cameras were off. The doors locked. They opened his bag. At first, clothes, toiletries, business documents. Then, the lining was cut open, and there it was. Brown packages. Tightly wrapped. Labeled. Pure drugs. No one spoke. Darlington stared at the floor. The room felt like it was caving in. This must be a mistake, he muttered. But the silence confirmed the truth. An officer tapped a message into his phone. Within 10 minutes, the news exploded online. Breaking news. Popular billionaire Chief Darlington Uche caught with narcotics at Murtala Muhammad International Airport. Instagram melted. Videos of him being escorted out of the plane in handcuffs flooded TikTok. Photos of his red thread waist charm leaked. Old interviews where he told graduates to believe in hard work were now memes. Suddenly, everyone had an opinion. I always suspected him. How can a man be that rich at 30? All no Yahoo plus drugs. His private properties were frozen. Accounts locked. Phones seized. And then came the biggest betrayal. His own parents refused to visit him in detention. 2 weeks later, he stood in court. Gone were the shiny suits and Rolex watches. Now, he wore a wrinkled brown prison uniform. Slippers. A blank face. The courtroom was full, not with supporters, but spectators. Old classmates, former business partners, even ex-girlfriends sat quietly, hungry to witness his fall. The judge spoke like thunder. Chief Darlington Uche, you are hereby sentenced to 35 years imprisonment for trafficking narcotics and engaging in transnational drug smuggling. There was no outburst. No tears. Just silence. And then the gavel dropped. The once celebrated Odogu billionaire became inmate number 77432, locked inside Kirikiri maximum security prison. His village mansion was auctioned. His luxury cars taken. Even the hospital he built was renamed. His father, once proud, now walked the streets with his head bowed. His mother, the one who carried him to Boba Idol, sat quietly every day staring at the old family photo, unable to eat. The same villagers who once celebrated him now whispered. That's the family of the drug kingpin. They were forced out of their house. Back into a mud hut. Cracked walls. No light. No friends. Church members stopped visiting. The shame was louder than prayers. Inside prison, Darlington stopped talking. He wrote letters to his parents. You pushed me. You broke me. I only wanted to make you proud. They never replied. He stopped eating. He stopped smiling. Every day, he held what was left of the red thread in his palm, old, frayed, powerless. He stared at it for hours. Then one day, he laughed, a dry, bitter laugh that echoed through the cell block. The charm that once made him invisible had become the symbol of his destruction. And like a bad dream, the world moved on. Another scandal would trend. Another billionaire would rise. And Darlington Uche. He became a lesson. A ghost. A forgotten king.